Hello and welcome to this cheeky dev blog. This is going to be the first one I've ever done, so I figured I'd just give a brief overview of the new lighting system that they have implemented in Tabletop Simulator and how you can use it best to create very pretty looking scenes like the ones that I have here just now that I've imported from the Knights of the Old Republic game. So for starters, what you want to do is head up to Options, and under the Lighting tab there's going to be these new options: lighting intensity, ambient intensity, the color of the light itself proper, and just some other garbage. If you don't want the table to be seen at all, you will drop the intensity of all of these three down to like a total 0, so you can then import your own lights in different locations over here. You know, where you want your players to have their hands is the most important places you want to have lights, that and places where you're going to be performing your roles, stuff like that. So the system that I'm working on right now, using the Unity game engine to import these models, like the new lighting system for me is a godsend, because if we will get, let's get a little bit atmospheric in here. So I've created multiple states for these objects just here. So we have the lit state, we have the state where it's in error, so if the ship were under attack, and then we have a total blackout, and you can see the light actually seeping in from the second scene there. Also, fun fact, if there were a door in the way, the light would not go through. A very interesting thing about these lights, however, if you are to open the door, boom, light goes on through, and I'll show you that from the inside. It's very beautiful. If you want to, you know, have hidden stuff in the scene, you can just, you know, have the scene lit, set up everything you need inside the center point just here, and then you can just completely remove the lights and make it a very organic thing where the players open the door and the lights come on, and there's multiple things inside this room if you wanted to have loot containers or whatever. This is incredibly valuable for Edge of the Empire stuff if you want to make a modular base or anything like that. But I just wanted to go over the basics of what I've done just here to create something incredibly like atmospheric for Tabletop Simulator, you know, with the new lighting system that has come about. But I'll fix it as I go along, and I just wanted to keep you all informed. I haven't been posting updates as much as possible, but with this new update and API changes, this is going to be incredibly good, and I hope to, you know, update the entirety of the Ebon Hawk for this as soon as possible and get that onto the workshop. Alrighty, cutting into the Unity editor now, you know, just to give you a brief overview of how I import models with very pretty looking lights, eh? So this is going to assume that you have a very base knowledge of Unity, and that you have checked out the Berserk forums and you've gotten, well, not the forums, I'll leave a link to where you can get the GitHub repo to, you know, be able to export asset bundles as Unity 3D objects, you know, so you can import them into the game. But the first thing you're going to need is, well, an object to chuck into Tabletop Simulator. So I've got this module 4 thing that I'm not going to use. I'm just going to, like, really quickly right click, create 3D object cube, and we're going to make a little light cube here. So I'm going to zero this out in the area. So now this is just a cube. There's nothing special about it. You could export this as an asset bundle very quickly and easily, you know, if you were so inclined, but that would not achieve anything. It'd just be a silly little cube. It doesn't do anything. So if you click on your cube, right click, go down to light in your hierarchy menu, and, you know, select a light that you think would suit the scene. So I'm going to go with point light because it emits light in all, like, every single direction. So at this point, I'm going to click this button just here, and it will toggle it will toggle the scene lighting. So it'll, now start showing the lighting from the actual game or scene that you are going to be seeing in the game. So if we were to ramp the scale of this light up real quick, so if we were to click on this and drag up its its range super duper far, this is going to show a very, very long distance of a light. So what we can do with this now, now that we've got our light and we've got our cube, we can say this is done. We can say that this is how the scene would look if we had a cube with the light like this. This is how we wanted it. Imagine this was like a hallway and you had lights all along the side. That's kind of how you would, set this up. You're just dragging a light. That's pretty much it. You'd set it up how it looks pretty in this, with no ambient lighting, and then you would drag from your hierarchy down to your project menu. And that would piss off NVIDIA. That would create a prefab instance of this object. So now we're at the situation where this is saved in our Unity brain bank effectively. So what we can do then is come down where you see you have asset bundle after you've installed the Berserk Games asset bundle exporter thing. You will not have this many things. You'll probably only have these two things at the bottom, new and remove unused names. What you want to do is click new and then create a name for the asset bundle. I'm going to call mine _Cubo. And now it's done. Now if you right click and click build asset bundles, it will build it into an asset bundle folder where you've made this Unity scene. And from there, you can import directly into Tabletop Simulator, and it will have pretty much everything in the prefab apart from scripts. So you can have shaders on there that do base shading code. So if you wanted to have a really nice looking molten lava kind of path that's like procedurally generated with noise maps and stuff like that, you could do that. But I'm not a shader person. I'm a moron, so I'm going to stick with point lights for now. We're back in our little scene here. I'm going to change my camera settings so I'm not going super duper slowly anymore, because that was upsetting me. Okay, there we go. Right, so now if you click up on Objects, Components, Custom, at the bottom right there's going to be an option for Asset Bundle. So you want to drag and drop this into your scene anywhere, and you want to give it the directory and the file for where you have exported these asset bundles. So it gives you a little bit of a tooltip here. You can upload it to the web or host it wherever you want, or you can upload it locally from your machine, which is what I do. I have mine set to Projects Tabletop Modding Asset Bundles, which is where it exports all of my Unity 3D asset bundles. So you'll click on Cubo, you open it up, click Cloud, because if it's local, no one will be able to see it and it won't work in multiplayer, so click Cloud. Board, I mean, that's just up to you, like how you want to do it. These options are completely up to you. It really does not matter, but I use either figurine or board. I use board for these objects here, and I use figurine for my imported little miscellaneous objects. So we're going to import this as a figurine. The material doesn't quite matter because Unity has its own material system, and we're going to import that. What that's going to do is it's going to say, oh, well, this little cube here has a light on it, and yeah, no, that's it. Now you've got a little cube with a light on it. You can drag it around. You can treat this even as like a little torch item. So if you were to, shape this into a cylinder and have a light on both ends that are colored, you can just chuck these on the floor plates of your figurines, and you can pick up the figurines and move these along with you. So if these were pitch black, your characters can, see into the scene. I set the range very, very high on this object, so it's managing to break through the terrain and bounce so hard that it's going through everything. But yeah, that's the basics of it. You want to tweak it until it looks best for your static scenes, and then from there you know, just work with your players, see how they feel about it. I mean, I don't have any players at the moment, so it's really like quiet for me, so I'm just doing this on my own time, you know, doing what I think looks the most pretty. So yeah, just ask around, get some feedbacks. Just ask them, hey, how does this look to you? Is this how the light would react naturally with the scene? These objects, just imagine these objects are big cubes, and I have multiple lights all over the place. So there's lights all along here that go red and stuff like that. I'll go into animation at a later date for these objects and, you know, the doors and such. But just for now, I wanted to cover the basic lighting effects and how you can make your scenes lit and static, just like this scene here. So if you were to come into your scene like this, it would look very, very pretty. You can have your figurines and you can get a very nice snapshot in time. You can do that and make the scenes look very, very nice if you create your models or import them from somewhere. Chuck in some lights, make it look very full, and then from there, you know, just work with what you've got, man. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. Just because I wanted to show you kind of what I've been doing with my time, working with the API, and working with Unity as best I can. So yeah, if you ever have any questions, just comment below. I read all the comments and I respond to most of them, if they're transformative in nature and if they're constructive in their criticism. But yeah, no, if you have any questions on how I've been doing any of this, I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And thanks for stopping in, and I hope you have a good one.